Hello and welcome. In today's episode of Dr. Nora, as part of my baby series, this episode we focus on how to defrost frozen breast milk and how to warm it up as well, using a real-life case study. But before we get started, let's talk about some key facts that you guys should know about. First up, how much do you feed your little one? Now, of course, this does vary from baby to baby, and it's always really important to talk to your own medical doctor to find out your individual target. However, roughly speaking, the amount that you should be feeding a baby does depend on their weight. So, for example, we tend to advise giving a baby 150 mils times their weight. So for example, if they weigh 3 kilos, and then you divide that by the number of feeds they have throughout a 24-hour period. So let's take our baby who weighs 3 kilograms. So let's do 150 times 3, 450, then divide that by the number of feeds they have throughout the day, which could be 10 feeds, say. That means for each feed, you want to give them about 45 mils of milk. Now, of course, this does vary. And let's face it, we all know that babies go through growth spurts, and during those growth spurts, they may need a bit more milk as well. So generally speaking, we tend to always advise adding a bit more in just to make up for those times when they perhaps might be going through a growth spurt. But enough of the maths. Now you have been successfully expressing and you've been putting that milk into the freezer. What do you do with your amazing stash? Well, when you do want to use your breast milk for those days, perhaps when you are not looking after your baby, if you're not close to your baby and you want somebody else to look after the baby, then really you want to make sure that you're labeling those bags so that when you put them into the freezer, the person who's using that milk is using the oldest milk, then going to the newer milk. And of course, as you all know from my previous video about how to freeze your breast milk can stay in the freezer for up to 6 months. So make sure that you do use your breast milk within that time. So let's go over to a real life dad who's going to show us how he defrosts the milk. Take it away, Dad.
All right, so the first thing that needs to be done is to raid the milk cabinet. Just try to find the oldest ones. And this is my selection here. So I'm going to leave it there for about an hour and just see how defrosted it is. If I do need to defrost it faster, all I do is just get a little pot, fill it up with warm water, lukewarm water, and just leave it there for about 5-10 minutes and it defrosts straight away. So it's been about an hour, and as you can see, it looks very liquidy here. Still cold, but liquidy. This one, however, is going to take a little bit longer to defrost, although you can squeeze it a little bit just to get it going. But I think I can work with this. So we're going to get the bottle from this big machine over here. And to get the milk out, it's very simple with these bags. These bags are the best. If you don't have these bags and you have worse bags, you can always just use scissors to cut off the top, because sometimes with poorer bags, they're a lot harder to use. These ones, look, they just pop up in there. And you can just pour it into the bottle. That was gorgeous there, that one. Number 2. For this one here, I hate these bottles, but this one here, this is the technique I'm going to adopt. I'm just actually going to hold it off like this and squeeze the top and just hope that the ice just breaks up. And it will plop out. But it should be alright because I'm going to still put it in to the bowl heater. And that will defrost it further. And it will come out nice and warm.
Wow, thanks for that, Dad. So now that you've defrosted your milk, let's talk about perhaps warming your milk up. Now, generally speaking, you don't usually have to warm up formula milk. So we're going to just focus on breast milk at the moment. And it is really nice to warm up your baby's breast milk if you have the ability to. When you offer them warm milk, they're able to digest that milk a lot more easier. And also, they don't need to use up the extra energy perhaps when you give them cold milk in order for them to warm it up. So warm milk is always a positive for the little ones. So warming up the milk is desirable, and there are a few ways to do this. Now let's take a look at how Dad warms his milk up.
So now I'm going to take our cap out, screw it in, and then over to our bottle warmer here. This one does require some water intake, so I just make sure that it still has water around the back. As you can see, it does. If it's running low on water, you probably just want to fill it up. This is the worst bottle holder in the history of the world, and all you do is you pour it in distilled water and you make a bit of a mess. Yeah, maybe if there was a funnel, that would be useful. So you waste a lot of water by missing the pot. And the best part about it is you're going to have to somehow get this on there without spilling any more water. So maybe if you have a swimming pool, this is what it's made for. So I hold it like this backwards, and you kind of like flip it on, hope for the best, make a big mess, have some kitchen roll handy, wipe up all the mess that you've made. So now that it's fully filled up, we won't complain. put the bottle into the bottle warmer, put the cap on to hold all that steam. I turn it on. It's set up on nice mils there, and I set up for 6 minutes. If it's over 200 mils, that makes it nice and warm. So I'm going to start it up. So let's just give it 6 minutes to cool down. We'll see what we do next. So the bottle warmer's actually finished right now, but you don't want to go in too early now because the bottle will actually be piping hot. So you want to leave it until it actually beeps, and then it'll be cool enough to touch, hopefully. I've done this several times, made this mistake, so I'm pretty confident in my ability, but it's going to be piping hot. So just be careful. Boom. Got it out. This is a nice warm bottle. And just give it a little bit of a shake like that. And I'm going to leave it out there in room temperature for about 10-20 minutes, just until it is cool enough to be drinkable. Just so it, there you go, that's the beep. So that's what I should have waited for. But anyway, I'm going to leave this bottle out for a little while, maybe 10-20 minutes, just so the milk isn't piping hot. Of course, I'll do that once it cools down. So let's wait a few minutes. And of course, if I did want this to cool down faster, I could just run a bit of cool water over the bottle, or put the bottle inside a pot with cool water, and that will make it cool down faster. All right, so the bottle feels nice, lukewarm at the moment, so I'm happy with this. So the most important thing to do right now is wash your hands thoroughly if you haven't done so already, because now it's time to assemble the bottle. So for this is Dr. Brown's system. It's actually really good. I've been using it since birth. It's meant to be anti-colic. You get this extra tube here to help with that colic relief. So first thing to do is loosen this slightly, assemble these two contraptions together, and then take the lid off, place it inside, and then put the appropriate level for your child. We're on level 3. That's the top one. That means lots of milk comes out. Level 1 is the slowest, or maybe level 0, I'm not sure. There's 1, 2, there's lots of different levels. We're on level 3, so just put the right level for you and reassemble everything in its back in its containers to avoid any contamination. Finally, if there are any flies around, make sure you use the cap, because you don't want a fly landing on the bad stuff. And before you have fun with the baby, just test the temperature. Just pour it in on your hands there, and if it isn't, and you'll feel it, hopefully you'll feel if it's good. This is nice. This is lukewarm temperature, so it's ready to go. And according to the WHO, CDC, all that kind of stuff, they say you can leave it out for about 1 to 2 hours. But I'm gonna feed my little one right now. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let's get feeding.
You're flying, Susta Busta, Flosta Busta, Susta Busta, Susta Busta.
Try to test it. Yeah, seems good. You flip it around like this. And the hands are going to try again. So hold the hands. Oh, bomba. Got your little Susta Busta.
As you can see, a bottle warmer can be your absolute friend, but what if you don't have access to a bottle warmer? What other options do you have available? Well, first up, here's a complete no-no. Do not be tempted to use your microwave to heat up your baby's milk. Now, this is a problem on so many reasons. One, because the microwave actually denatures the beautiful enzymes and proteins that are inside your breast milk, thus making it pretty much nutritionless for your baby, which is kind of not the point. And secondly, it also doesn't allow the heat to evenly distribute throughout the milk. So you end up with patches of really hot milk and really cold milk, and that just doesn't go well for your baby. So ditch the microwave when it comes to warming up your breast milk. However, you might just want to be really simple and use some warm milk. Now, the best way to do this is to place your breast milk, which is obviously going to be in a bag or a bottle of some sort, and place it under some running warm water for no more than 15 minutes. Again, this goes on to the fact that you don't want to denature the beautiful enzymes that are inside your breast milk. Or alternatively, you could place that bag of breast milk into a warm pot of water, again, no longer than 15 minutes. This will help the milk to slowly warm up to your desired temperature. So there you have it, guys. That is a quick video to show you guys how to defrost your breast milk and how to warm it up as well with a real life case study. I hope you guys have found this video useful. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate, drop me a line in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care and stay healthy.